With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network, and welcome into a very busy Thursday, Huskers fans. This morning, Nebraska men's golf announced their newest head coach as Trev Alberts named former Huskers golfer Judd Cornell as the new man to head the program. Cornell has served as the head coach for Creighton the last 3 seasons, following 6 seasons as an assistant coach and associate head coach for Nebraska men's golf. In his time as a student athlete at Nebraska, Cornell served as a 3-time captain for the Huskers and was a first-team academic All-Big 12, remember back then, Big 12 honoree, and the first recipient of the Dick Spangler Memorial Scholarship for his leadership on and off the golf course. Nebraska women's gymnast Chenga Bakai advanced to the team finals of the European Championships with Hungary today. Bakai scored a 13.2 vault and an 11.133 on the balance beam to help qualify Hungary for tomorrow's team finals, which take place at 7 a.m. Central. Bakai will be the first alternate for the event finals, which then take place this Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Central. Over to pro sports tonight. Lots of games in action, lots of games final in the major leagues in baseball. In a few minutes, you'll see the Orioles and Red Sox play, and then the big anticipated event of the night for baseball. It's the Field of Dreams game out in Dyersville, Iowa, not too far away. The Cubs take on the Reds in that one. They're about 10 minutes from first pitch. Some finals around the bigs from earlier today. The Marlins blanked the Phillies in a bit of an upset in the NL East, 3-0. The Marlins take that one. The Guardians win in extras over the Tigers 4-3 in 10 innings. The Royals took down the White Sox 5-3. And the Astros topped the Rangers in the Battle of Texas 7-3. The Rockies took down the Cardinals 8-6. And the Diamondbacks blasted the Pirates 9-3. And in the NBA today, it was announced that Bill Russell's number 6 will be permanently retired. Bill Russell, the Celtics legend, passed away on July 31st. He was an 11-time NBA champion, 5-time NBA MVP, and 12-time All-Star. Russell is the first player in NBA history to have his jersey retired league-wide. Very fitting honor there. The NFL has a lot of 2 games in action tonight in the NFL preseason. This is week 1. Last week was the Hall of Fame game, kind of the week 0 of the NFL preseason. 2 games on tonight. It's the New England Patriots. They're about to kick off against Austin Allen and the New York Giants. As Austin looking to make the roster there, will get a chance to get a lot of playing time tonight in week 1 of the preseason. Then at 6:30, the Tennessee Titans are in Baltimore to play the Ravens. At 6:30, Ravens seem to be undefeated every year in the preseason, so that'll be an interesting one. Also making headlines today, Tom Brady is taking a brief leave of absence from the Buccaneers to, quote, deal with some personal things. That's according to Bucs head coach Todd Bowles. The leave of absence is said to have been planned prior to the preseason, and Brady will look to return after the Bucs' second preseason game against the Titans next Saturday, August 20th. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
It's a pistol set. Van Treese trips to the near side. Snap back. Stretch play right to Cook. Hit and drop. He'll lose yardage.
Garrett Nelson
firing from the backside. Brings him down. It's a loss of 2. It's now 4th down and 3.
Lex Rodriguez floats it over. Pass by Eggleston. Tight to the net. Gets it back. Swings. Block back. Nebraska's got 3 blocks. Lucy Krause, the night of her life so far. It's 13-9 Big Red.
Snap back. Play action. Taking a shot. Throwing pass. Caught by Manning at the 10. Eludes a Boilermaker to the 5. One more. Manning dives. Touchdown. Nebraska.
Light diving, dig Hampton and Libero. Now Penn State right front. Johnny Parker, great up by Rodriguez. Left front swing, Matty Kubik, kill. 23-13. Lexi Rodriguez, a clinic thus far.
Huskers 2nd and goal to 6. 2 wideouts left, 2 to the near side. Ramir Johnson off to the right. They turn, give it off to Ramir left side, comes back at the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Nebraska. Ramir Johnson's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, a Thursday night. Boy, we got all kinds of activities going on tonight. You've got a couple of NFL preseason games. You have the Cornfield baseball game between the Reds and Cubs. This is a pretty good sports night after I don't mean to belittle it. Watching a lot of and Andrew loves it. Little League baseball is what we've had on the last couple nights.
And the MLS All-Star game, which I didn't even know
yes.
existed until last night.
Yeah.
So
And they won, by the way. The MSL All-Stars won.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
I know you probably haven't been able to sleep. You've been so worried about it.
I was so excited about it. But no, the Field of Dreams was on USA Today. And
the movie was?
Yes. So we had a big-time show last year when that was on.
It was great.
We talked about that all last summer when it was on. It was such a big hit, and the ratings were off the charts.
Huge.
Not surprised that they're going to go ahead and go through with it again.
Two bad teams, though. Reds and Cubs are both bad. Last year they had the Yankees there,
Yeah.
so it was pretty cool, and I'm sure that pulled in a lot. But that'll be fun. And for those, I'm not a huge preseason guy for the NFL, but when I have a vested interest in watching somebody I know play, and that's the case tonight, because Austin Allen's with the Giants and Patriots are playing.
Yeah, and Jeremiah, of course, his agent, has talked a lot about how they really like Austin Allen up there, and he's fitting in really well. And so you expect a lot of those guys that are undrafted free agents, a lot of times those are the guys that get a lot of playing time in these preseason games to see if they can find, if they're going to fit and if they want to, use a roster spot on these guys. So I imagine Austin Allen's probably going to get a lot of playing time.
I would think so. Yeah, so be able to watch that tonight. That's on NFL Network tonight if you want to watch a little preseason and see how, I don't know what number he's wearing. He wore 11 here. I doubt he has 11 in the NFL, but
I don't know.
You probably can go online, folks, and look up what jersey number Austin Allen has. But that'll be the fun the next couple of weeks. See the Colts and see how JoJo's doing. See if you see the Bengals, does Cam Taylor-Britt get significant snaps? The Eagles, what does Cam Jurgens do? And so that's the fun part, is seeing how these guys that we just saw finish their Husker careers, how do they do and how do they make their way into a team?
Austin Allen, number 46.
40. That's an odd number.
Right? That's what I thought. That's like a fullback number.
That's
right?
strange. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and apparently Austin Allen's been doing well so far, and then we've heard rave reviews about JoJo Doman, and then also Samori just lit up the internet the other day.
The Lambeau Leap guy.
And heard Cam Taylor-Britt is doing well, and he's matching up against some really good wide receivers too. So those guys seem to be taking care of their business, and it's just so huge for recruiting when you can say, hey, look what the guys we got that are playing on Sundays, and point to those guys and multiple positions. And then Cam Jurgens probably going to wait his turn, but he's being able to be developed. And so, yeah, a lot of different positions that you have represented there that were able to get there through Nebraska, and that's always a huge recruiting pitch.
You go up on the football floor here at the stadium, they have an entire wall of pictures of guys that have either played in the NFL or are still playing in the NFL, and it is a big part of it because everybody that comes out of high school, they think they're going to play in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream, right? It's everybody's dream, and they want to give it a shot. And, it's just when you see the starting lineups, a lot of times they'll say Austin Allen, tight end, Nebraska. I mean, like, that's a big sell when you watch those big-time games and you see those guys. And then they always have the graphics on which programs have the most guys in the NFL. And it's just, that's a part of the competition, too. And, yeah, and then it's just awesome for us, too, to continue. Because I'm not a huge NFL person. I never have been. But I love it when I get to watch guys that I've covered and got to know. And that makes me have more of an investment. And then you got guys all over the league, and it makes you pay attention to multiple teams.
So that's tonight. Giants, Patriots just getting underway, and then the Cornfield game a little bit later tonight. Reds and the Cubs. So some fun stuff for you to dial. But we've got fun stuff for you, too, the next couple of hours. One of our old pals, Brendan Stai, going to stop in here and talk to us. He's had a fun summer. He did some traveling overseas, but back ready. I'm sure he's fired up, ready to watch some football, get his take on this Husker football team and some of the stuff that he's been working on. Obviously, he's in the fundraising arm of the athletic department. And they're pretty busy. They've kind of put the wraps on the Go Big project. Most of the hay is in the barn for that. But with NIL, you got to go out and try to do some other things now with athletics.
Yeah, it's kind of changed a lot of how a lot of those staffs work and what their goals and missions are. But he does give us an update on that, and we'll get an update from him. And also just talking about the O-line with him, it's always fascinating to hear perspective from an offensive lineman that did it at the highest level, and just his take on it and how the O-line is progressing. So I'll be fascinated to ask him about that too.
And the whole development arm of athletic departments, and they've been around for 40 years out raising money from boosters and all that. It'd be interesting, Jessica, if the timing had been different with NIL and this building. I mean, that probably would have caused a bit of a problem.
Yeah, and from here on out, you think about and not even just what is going on right now, but for what programs and athletic departments and athletic department staffs are doing to prepare for where it could go.
Correct.
We don't even know where this thing is going, but potentially where it could be going, you have to be considering that. And so a lot of programs probably won't take on a big project like this moving forward.
I was talking to somebody the other day that's not from Nebraska, not a Nebraska fan, but he goes, I'm hearing from the grapevine of people that are connected in college sports that Nebraska's done a really good job of kind of lining up how they want to attack the portal in their big sports and have NIL and kind of marry the two together. So that's good to hear that Nebraska's kind of on the cutting edge of those two things.
Yeah, I think they have been from the start, but yeah, and I think doing it the right way. I mean, when we had Jamie Vaughn in here, they're making sure that they're not breaking any rules and that things are being done. You're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. And but I think that there's such a great fan base, and it's not just about football. You look at a lot of these programs across the country, you're hearing these deals and these, big time NILs and transfer portal guys are going because of NIL deals, but it's really just football. But then you're hearing that there are a lot of other athletes from multiple sports here that are getting opportunities, and that's, to me, is what sets Nebraska apart more than anything, more than just like the dollar amount. It's just that you're getting lots of different athletes, different opportunities.
You're going to be ducking in and out of the show tonight. We've got some sponsors that are here to check out how their signage is going to look in the stadium, and they're going to get a chance to meet some of our coaches on staff. You're going to be kind of navigating some of that, so you're going to be ducking in and out. But that's a kick for people to come in, see if how the signs are going to look like on September, what is it, the 3rd that we play North Dakota here? How's it going to look in the stadium? And then a chance to go meet some of our coaches over there. That'll be fun for our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a year ago I hosted this thing and met our great friends from Acres who sponsor this broadcast center. And so excited to see them and a lot of our great partners that, make this all possible. And it's just, they're so critical to what this athletic department does. So yeah, and Brian Applewhite's going to be there. So we heard him speak back in the spring, and he was awesome. So they're going to love hearing from him and Coach Bolt, Amy Williams. Rhonda Ravel, I interviewed her last week. She is currently cycling in Ireland.
She is big into that.
So
really big
she
into
won't
that.
be there. So the Big Ten
and maybe
champion. John Cook.
Maybe.
I think if he gets off the practice court in time, he's going to run over there too. So hopefully I'll be able to give you an update on anything interesting they say.
Well, John Cook's, I think they're into practice 6 today. So it's been really quiet. We're supposed to get a little bit of media availability next week, and he does his first radio show next Tuesday, but I'm dying to find out how it's going. I don't know how things are happening over there.
Yeah, it's kind of been a little bit closed doors. And
if he shows up, he'll peel the curtain back a little bit.
Yes, and I'm sure he'll tell us. Last year, remember, he talked about the theme, and remember, it was the tree and the roots and all of that. And Red Kingdom is the theme this year.
Oh, he's all over that.
Hopefully he gives us
he might even work a cowboy story or two.
Yes, and he might tell us a little bit about Bud and his chaps and all of that. And I told you when we went out there to do the interview with him for the Kinsey Knuckles piece, we were having to move those dummies that you lasso, practice your roping. What are the, I guess they're just dummies, or what are they called?
Yeah, there's a term, and I don't know what the name of it is.
I should know it, and if my family's listening, they would kill me, but where you lasso, you practice it.
4-H, didn't you do some of that?
I was a barrel racer.
Okay, so you weren't lassoing things.
No, I did not do any roping or team roping or any of that, but we had to move those out of the shot. Because Coach, they were right there on the court.
You gotta get that out of the way.
So he's big time into that. And of course, we heard the saddle story. He had it in his shower the first time he met Marquita Armstead. And so, yeah, I would bet that gets a little bit of an update.
Well, they've been working hard. I guarantee you they've been working hard over there. They're 2-a-days. Soccer's working hard. Soccer tomorrow night will be on the pitch at Hibner Stadium. You don't like that, Andrew, when I throw those little soccer terms in for you just to see if you're paying attention to us. But Hibner Stadium, free admission. You don't have to pay. Go out there and support soccer. Should be a nice night, be a little warm, but all of the stands at Hibner are in the shade. So you're going to be out of the sun tomorrow night. They play Tulsa at 7:05.
Yeah,
Go root Sammy the goalie on. She's ours.
I'm just so glad she's back healthy. She was, performing so well last year, and was a couple times Big Ten goalie of the week and then got hurt. And I know that, she really put in the work in the off season and while she was interning here, but she was balancing rehab and practice and conditioning and school. She's a great student too. But for her to get back out there, she's an important piece to what that soccer team does. So I'm glad she's back healthy.
All right, coming up next, Brendan Stai will be with us. We want you to be a part of the program every night. Here's the numbers, 402-413-2400. You can fire off a text, a phone call. It's all done through our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with Brendan Stai. We'll talk to him next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. And we're delighted to be joined by Brendan Stai, who's on the Husker development staff. Will be with us again this year for Husker Game Day in a couple of weeks. Okay, let me start with this. It's August. It's hot. Do you wake up one morning and go, I should be at a camp, or are you past that days from your playing days?
PTSD. You know, it's funny because I don't really get into that mode anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
But I still have the recurring dream. I can't get to the game. I can't get dressed. It's a trip. But most guys that played for the amount of time that kind of like what I played kind of go through that. But I don't, here's the thing. We went through the grind. Back in the day, we were 2-a-days. My freshman year here, we had 3-a-days because they still had the freshman team back then. And when you were done with the varsity, the freshman coach was like, come on down and help us. So it was miserable. I mean, it was forever, too. I mean, it was 5 weeks of camp. You know, you came in as a freshman, and it was, a week and a half, and then the varsity would get it. It just went on forever. So these guys now have got it pretty good. Soft.
I was going to say, so you probably would have liked to have the 3 days on, day off, 3 days on, day off.
Scott and I were talking about that this morning. It is unbelievable. But in retrospect, when you think about it, how demanding the game is on your body just makes sense. And I don't think that teams are necessarily at their peak physically until maybe the second or third game in the season. And certainly X's and O's and gelling. But the physical part doesn't come really, I don't think, at a high level until like that second or third game. Because you have, a handful of scrimmages. You've got some live situations in practice. And the guys up front are always live. When they say half pads, no, it doesn't matter. So I think, when you compare and contrast the two, we were much more calloused when the season came. Now it was just a matter of the mental part of it. But I don't feel sorry for those guys. Jeez Louise.
The players love it, by the way.
Oh, heck yeah. Are you kidding me? Now, here's the thing. They're only practicing once a day. They're going 3 on, 1 off, but they're here the whole time.
Yeah.
You only have so many hours during the week you can work with these guys, but they're constantly in meetings. They're doing walkthroughs. It doesn't shut down just because you have one practice. You're here.
The offensive line obviously is a focal point of a lot of people, and rightfully so. They're trying to piece this together. Cam Jurgens off to the NFL now. Keys to that group, and how big is that group to the success of what we're going to see in the coming months?
Well, I talk about it all the time. It starts up front. I think we need to take a giant leap at the tackle position. Certainly Nori, the bad news of him getting hit on a PED. And I sat him down. I said, what did you do? You knucklehead? And he goes, Coach Stai, I didn't do anything. I had high testosterone levels, and there's only been one example in all NCAA history where they've reversed a negative PED, which is a high testosterone test. And so I believe him. I think he's a great kid. So losing Nori, I think, right off the bat, it's like, when are we going to get good news? It's like, man, just one thing after another since Scott's been here. But, that hurts because I felt like he, next to Cam last year, played the highest level offensive line play. So then you got to reshuffle your deck. And I think what they're going to look at, they've been in camp. I know Corcoran has moved inside to left. Teddy's at the left tackle position. I think a handful of guys at the center and right guard position. Probably Hickson leading the way as a center. So you got Piper, and then you got Bando, and then there's Banks into that fold as well. Banks is kind of he's a unique guy because I think he can play tackle, in particular at right tackle position. And then you throw Benhart in the mix. Those two tackle positions, in order for us to have success, they got to hold the edge. They got to play better this year, and there's no doubt about that. You turn the film on, and it was, play after play. These guys getting their hips turned, getting beat around the edge. What I do like to see, what I have seen in the 2 practices that I've seen and the conversations that I've had and sitting down with Donovan Raiola is the mindset. We're going to get 4 yards. We're not going to, get ready to get ready. And when I say that, in the past, the way that they schemed things was, okay, this is a defense lined up with our personnel and our formation. This is a tendency. So they're going to blitz. They're going to stunt. We're going to take a step back, get ready to get ready, and then catch them in it. Screw that. That's out the window. If you leave one hat empty, it's fine, okay? But we're going to get 4 yards, and we're coming off the damn ball. So that's the mentality, and it's a mindset, and I think he's done a good job of instilling that. Some pieces need to be filled. Certainly you have to have that 2 deep. I think adding, I think his name's Kevin Williams from Northern Colorado, and then you got Anthony from the Oklahoma State transfer there. That adds some experience, some depth there, some confidence. The game is all about, and it's 90% confidence at this point. So I like how it's coming together. I don't think that they're there yet, and they'll admittedly probably tell you that, but I can see from day 1 in pads, like we were talking about, to today when I watch practice, there's been a huge jump as far as production, in particular looking at one-on-ones, coming off the football. So
when you talked about the tackle position, and Teddy had a couple big games before the ACL tear, what kind of jump can an offensive lineman make between freshman and sophomore year, and I guess in Teddy's case coming off the ACL?
Yeah, it's quite the jump. Like I said, a lot of it's mental. Being that young, I've always argued with coaches, they're not ready. Physically they look the part, but mentally they're not quite there, and that takes thousands of reps. I think Teddy's kind of an unusual case because not only did he get the physical part of it, but he grasped the offense really, really well. And when you have that, especially at that tackle position, because 9 times out of 10 the left tackle's going against the best athlete on the field. Silver lining with both of our tackles, and Teddy included, that growth's going to come from the guys they're going against. I mean, they're going against probably, I'm not throwing predictions out there, but we're talking all Big Ten material with O'Shawn, with Garrett, and with Caleb. Those 3 guys is as good as you're going to see in the Big Ten right now. Big Ten lost 4 really freaky guys to the NFL draft last year. So having the ability to go against that every single day, iron sharpens iron, that kind of thing. And I think the jump will happen quickly for Teddy going against that kind of talent. So kudos to him. Coming back is not easy from an ACL. There's always that there's this barrier. Can I do this? Can I do that? And by mid-camp, we should really know where he's at. But, yeah.
The college football is trending kind of toward the pros, and because of your experience in the NFL with all these transfer portal additions, you're mixing a lot of different personalities into the team than you ever had before in college football. How big a challenge is that for Scott and the entire coaching staff, and particularly on the offensive side of the ball, with new quarterbacks, new running backs, new wide receivers, to mix all that together?
I think a portion of it is the coaches. First and foremost,
new too.
Yeah, first and foremost is finding the right guys, and so that is a whole nother beast in and of itself, because you're recruiting guys that, you're getting maybe 2 to 3 months to look at these guys in the portal. In a normal recruiting cycle, you're going through 2 to 3 years of getting to know the kid and who he hangs out with, his parents and his culture. So there's a part of that on the front end, bringing them in, getting their minds right, and making them feel welcome. But I think it's more on the team. It's the culture. It's the leaders that, can read that room, that locker room, if you will. And the faster that happens, the easier it is. But it's never easy. I remember, getting bopped around a couple times in the league, getting traded and going right in. And, the media is asking me, so how close are you guys, as far as like camaraderie and all that? I don't even know these guys. I go home at night, I show up to work, we go through meetings, we go through lunch. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And the chemistry in particular, with a position group, that takes a little bit. But, as long as you have strong leadership, I think chances of turning that corner quicker are a lot better.
How have you liked the leadership of this group? It seems like there's a big group of them. The Unity Council has been very active. What have you seen out of that in that perspective?
Well, what I've seen is a seriousness. And it's not feeling sorry for themselves or anything like that, but let's just take, for example, Garrett Nelson. It means something to him, and certainly there's at the end of the rainbow, an opportunity to go and play. But right now, right here, the most important thing is the guy next to you, and when you get strong leadership, and Garrett showed that when he first got here. I mean, the guy was just off the charts, kind of that prototypical black shirt type of mentality. But in that process, not everybody's a leader. And so you have to be able to find the guys on your team that you can trust to take that role. And Garrett's one prime example of it. And I think it's a reflection of where they're at right now in that locker room. Not everybody can be a leader. You got to find followers. And followers is not a bad thing, doing it the right way. And so when you're asked by a team leader to make an adjustment, maybe you're not doing the right things, you're not showing up on time, you're not eating the right stuff, you're not taking care of your body outside the facility, those guys can address that. And Unity Council really is a way to police it.
Brendan Stai with us here on Sports Sonic, and you're going to hear him on Husker Game Day this fall, starting 4 hours before kickoff. We lost a Husker football legend earlier this week with the passing of Jack Pierce. Was on the staff, handling recruiting a lot when you were coming into the program, and then he went over to development, raised some money. Your thoughts about Jack?
Jack is jack of all trades. He's going to be missed, but he certainly did a lot for the University of Nebraska athletic department, football program. My relationship with Jack early on in my college career was, he was kind of around, but he wasn't. And he was always that guy doing the extra things behind the scenes. And so Jack and I we shared a relationship for a long time. When I moved here, I'd see him quite often. I was with Bo's staff for 3 years. He was working in development. And let's be honest, I mean, Jack is probably the guy that started development, in college athletics. The way that it's shaped now in fundraising, he certainly had a big part of that. And he's got, he was the guy with always the great story about recruiting and when it was the Wild Wild West in recruiting. So yeah, it's, Jack, he was so just dedicated to his daughter who, her entire life has suffered with disability. And to see him go through what he's been going through the last, 6 months, 7 months, it's been hard to, from afar listen about, his struggles, but he'll be missed and, certainly never forgotten.
He would have enjoyed this trip to Ireland, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe a little too much. But, yeah, I mean, Jack, he's, again, we talk about, Nebraska really setting itself aside from an innovation standpoint on all spectrums of, sports. And, Jack was a part of that innovation.
Can't let you get out of here without talking about that structure. Since the last time you were here, boy, it is shot up. We can hear it right now in the background, I'm sure.
Well, it's pretty impressive. On paper, it's one thing to look at it, but then when you see it come to fruition, it's just so massive. But it's going to be used for decades to come. It's something that not only our student athletes, our coaches, our administration will be able to take advantage of, but also our fans. This is going to be one heck of a fan experience over here. But it's 310,000 square feet of not all space being used, but for future use in certain areas. But unprecedented. When I was being recruited, we had the best facilities, resources, you name it. We set the tone. We were innovative. We got behind. So for a couple reasons, this was built, right? You need to keep up with the Joneses. And I don't know, I mean, if NIL hits before this is even, thought about, I don't know if it happens. So we could be the last big, huge project campaign that you're going to see for a long time. And certainly we're going to be right back at the top, carrying that torch. And this facility from A to Z, when it comes to, providing the resources, for football in particular, you've got a whole new medical area, locker rooms, player lounge, and then you kind of cascade yourself into the bigger, which I love part of it, is the all-student athlete inclusivity. So the second floor will be all student athletes. You'll have 2 egresses, so 2 entrances. On the east side is the student athlete entrance, and on the west side, as it sits north to south, that'll be the fan experience and then the football entrance as well. So the third floor and the first floor will be all football. So,
fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you coming in. Let's have a pint in Dublin. Is that all right?
Let's do it. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Brendan Stai with us here on Sports Night. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show coming up.
Woodhouse Ford is your certified Ford dealer, serving drivers throughout Nebraska for 47 years. Our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Customers have been relying on Woodhouse Ford since 1975 for high-quality vehicles, knowledgeable staff, and exceptional service. Experience the Woodhouse Ford difference and shop at one of our 3 locations in-store or online at woodhouseford.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
The 2022 Nebraska football home opener is right around the corner, and we can't wait to welcome the Sea of Red back to Memorial Stadium. Secure your spot as your Huskers take on North Dakota on Saturday, September 3rd at 2:30 p.m. for only $30. A limited number of tickets remain and are only available while supplies last. To get yours today, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Jessica's off helping, so doing a client event inside the stadium. We hope to get her back in hour number 2, but I'm here. Phone line's open for you, 402-413-2400. Thanks to Brendan Stai for stopping in and talking to us. Great to catch up with him, and again, he will be joined by Ben McLaughlin for Husker Game Day again this fall. 4 hours from kickoff, they begin our broadcast day each and every week during the college football season. So the first game will be 11:30 kick, 4 hours, 7:30 in the morning. They'll be up and moving. Brendan will actually be in Dublin, so he'll be over there. Ben will be here in the studios. So Brendan will be on the. It's like I said, he owes me a pint. Got to get a pint out of Brendan while we're over there. Husker football offering a couple of great ticket opportunities for you for the upcoming season. The North Dakota game, which is the home opener on September the 3rd, 2:30. $30 tickets while limited supplies last. You can go visit huskers.com/tickets to secure those, and there are not very many of them, so they're going to go fast. The OU Plus 2 mini plan, we've talked about this for a few weeks now. It gets you 1 ticket to the Oklahoma game, a couple of tickets to the North Dakota game, and 2 tickets to the Georgia Southern game as well. That's a $270 ticket value. Then just a Big Ten plan. The 4 Big Ten home games, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, $200 for those. All this information can be found online, huskers.com/tickets for that. Well, the Patriots lead the Giants 7-3. They're already into the second quarter playing this game. I have not yet seen Austin Allen on the field for the Patriots, but a lot of the starters played the opening series. My guess is he'll probably get a lot of time in the second half, but we're keeping our eye out for him, as that is on the NFL Network tonight. Watching some NFL preseason action. 2 games tonight in the NFL. There's a bunch tomorrow and a bunch on Saturday as well. Also, the Cornfield game is going on over in Iowa. The Cubs have jumped out to a 3-0 lead on the Reds. Really cool in the before the game began, they had the players like last year walking through the cornfields, and they had joining them a father and son, famous father and son tandem from Major League Baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. I was a huge Junior fan when he broke through with the Seattle Mariners and then got traded to the Reds, and I'm sure that's why he was there tonight to represent the Reds. His dad was a great player as well in his own right, but Junior, I think, was one of the best to ever play the game. Just loved his swag, loved his smile, loved his youthful exuberance toward the game. He was just a really easy guy to play for, but that was pretty cool having those two walk through the cornfield, a father and son, a generational thing that tied the hands through baseball history. So it was really cool to have that going on tonight. They're not going to play over there next year. They're going to add on to the facility that's there now. I think it seats 4,000, something like that. They're going to add on to it. So they're going to need to take a year off to do that. But pretty cool. It's going to be hard to beat last year when you had the Yankees and they're playing the White Sox. But tonight, 2 longtime franchises in the Cubs and the Reds there. So pretty cool, though, to see that happening. So you got that going on tonight. And NFL preseason football happening tonight as well. Husker football back on the practice field tomorrow. Our next media availability will be Saturday. The head coach will meet with the media again. It'll be just the second time we've heard from Scott Frost. That will be Saturday. We'll recap for you Monday night what all he has to say about that practice session. Our next chance to hear from some players will be Tuesday night. We will hear from Colton Feast. Jessica caught up with him earlier in the week, the walk-on from UTAN that's making a strong push to play someone on that defensive line. We'll hear from Colton coming up in the second hour of the program. Also joining us in hour number 2, KRVN, our great friends at KRVN out there in central Nebraska, the longest-running Husker football affiliate going. They've been a great partner of Husker Athletics for decades. Jason is the sports director out there. He's going to join us, get his thoughts about Husker football. Also, he doubles up, and he's the voice of the Lopers, UNK Lopers. They are appearing in all the preseason top 25 in Division II football. So we'll ask Jason a question or two about how the Lopers look this year as well. So looking forward to having Jason join us in our number 2 of the program. Opening segment of the show, Jessica and I were talking about John Cook and that when she went over to do an interview with him earlier this summer, that they had to move he's over there practicing his lassoing, and we couldn't think of the name. Jeremy in Texas goes, come on, guys, it's the roping dummy. So there we go. So there it is, the roping dummy. That's what John Cook has over there at the Devaney Center. And they had to move it out of the way because it was in the shot. So pretty funny. So thank you, Jeremy, for getting us straight on that. We both just drew a blank on what that thing was called. All right, 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. We're also up on our YouTube stream. If you have some questions for us throughout there, you can jump on board as well. Again, hope everybody enjoyed hearing Brendan Stai. And Jim in the chat room said, Brendan, I couldn't think of a good question to ask because you and your teammates were the best. I wish you could show the newbies how to get it done. So I know you all enjoy hearing from Brendan from time to time. Great for him to come in and spend some time with us here on Sports Nightly. All right, I need to take our final break of the hour. We're back with the end of this hour next.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Woodhouse at Lincoln offers more than just vehicles. Steeped in tradition, Lincoln customers are offered 100 years of car building excellence, insightful technologies, luxury interior amenities, and benefits of the state-of-the-art showrooms and service departments. Convenient pickup and delivery, and an online buying experience that can be done anywhere. The simplicity of purchasing and owning makes shopping the Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer an easy choice. Explore how Woodhouse Lincoln can change your drive today at woodhouselincoln.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information. Just move on up.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe back with you. Wrapping up hour one here of Sports On again. And thanks to Brendan Stai for coming in and joining us. If you want to be a part of the program, still time this hour at 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Pretty cool announcement out of the NBA today. We talked about this a couple weeks ago with the loss and passing of NBA legend Bill Russell. The NBA is going to honor that by retiring the number 6 jersey. Russell wore the number 6 jersey in his esteemed career with the Celtics. So nobody on any of the 30 teams can wear the number 6 moving forward in NBA history. Major League Baseball has something similar with Jackie Robinson of the number 42. So Russell becomes the first player in NBA history to have his jersey retired league-wide. Additionally, all players during this upcoming season are going to wear a commemorative patch on the right shoulder of those jerseys. And every NBA court, this is pretty cool, are going to have a shamrock-shaped logo with Russell's number 6 on the sideline near the scorers table. So as Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, said, Bill Russell's unparalleled success on the court and pioneering civil rights activism deserved to be honored in a unique and historic way. Permanently retiring his number 6 across the NBA team ensures that Bill's transcendent career will always be recognized. So pretty cool. How about some players who wear the number 6? LBJ, LeBron James currently wears that jersey. Also, Porzingis wears it. Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell, and Lou Williams wore the number 6 last year, so they're going to have to find different jersey numbers. How about that? LeBron James going to have to find a different number to wear for the Lakers. But I'm guessing LeBron's been looped into this and is probably okay with it. So pretty cool thing by the NBA to do that. Russell won 11 rings. How about that? 11 championship rings in the NBA. That is a really remarkable thing. As he passed away right at the end of July. But 11 championships in a 13-year career. I mean, that's a really amazing stat to have that he won a title in all but 2 of his NBA careers. That won't be matched by anybody. Was named the NBA MVP 5 different times, was an 11-time All-NBA selection, and then was a player coach for a year for the Celtics. That didn't work out so well. That's really never worked out well when people have tried to be a player coach. Several people in the NBA have tried that. That just has never really worked out for them. But really cool thing with the NBA to do that with Bill Russell. And I'm not old enough to have really watched Russell's great career. Certainly seen a lot of highlights of it, and certainly have respected him. He did some broadcasting too, and wasn't half bad at it when he retired and got out of the coaching ranks. He was not half bad at doing some of the broadcasting part, but that was a pretty cool thing for him to do that. Interesting story. I think Tim might have had this in the ticker. Now turning to the NFL, Tom Brady is going to be away for a while. He's going to be, as they termed it, he's going to be away from the team to deal with some personal issues. I hope he's okay. I mean, I'm not a big Brady fan. I mean, I hope the Bucs lose every game, but I mean, I certainly respect Tom Brady. I hope he's okay, but that's really odd to see that happening. They don't think he'll be back in time for their next couple of preseason games, but head coach Todd Bowles made the announcement today when asked if this was health-related. Bowles said, "It is a personal issue. That is all I can say." But he said that he had pretty high level of confidence that Brady will be back and ready to start when the season begins week 1 when they play the Dallas Cowboys. So that would lead me to believe that it's not a health issue with him, but a little scary, particularly when you got a guy that's 45 years old, just turned 45 last week, did Brady. But that was an odd announcement that came out today from the NFL camp. And when we saw Brady playing some golf, right, a month or so ago, he had that kind of primetime thing that he played with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. That was fun to see that, but yeah, that was an odd thing that happened there. From the world of college basketball today, Tom Izzo, the legendary Michigan State head coach, signed the new contract today. 5-year deal, worth about $6.2 million per season. So Tom Izzo, who some people kind of thought maybe kind of inching close to retirement, he's 67 years old, signs a new 5-year contract with Sparty. So there you go. I'm an Izzo fan. I like him. I think he's a terrific coach. I know Fred Hoiberg's a big fan of Tom Izzo, as Coach Hoiberg's son was a walk-on in the Michigan State program and played up there. So Izzo going to hang around college basketball for a while, even though he is 67 years old. All right, good first hour. Coming up next hour, Jason Jorgensen from KRVN is going to join us, talk about his thoughts about Husker football, and also going to get his thoughts about UNK, a little Division II football talk. He's the voice of the Lopers out there, part of the region system here in Nebraska. And Colton Feast will stop by as well, the walk-on defensive tackle from UTAN. So busy second hour on the way. Come on back. Have some fun with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pickup. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We are your shelter.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network, and welcome into a busy Thursday Huskers fan. Hour 2's coming up. This morning, Nebraska men's golf announced their newest head coach as Trev Alberts named former Husker golfer Judd Cornell as the new man to head the program. Cornell has served as the head coach of Creighton for the past 3 seasons, following 6 seasons as an assistant and an associate head coach from Nebraska men's golf. In his time as a student athlete at Nebraska, Cornell served as a 3-time captain for the Huskers and was a first-team academic All-Big 12 honoree and the first recipient of the Dick Spangler Memorial Scholarship for his leadership on and off the golf course. Welcome back, Judd. Nebraska women's gymnast Chenge Bakai advanced to the team finals of the European Championships with Hungary today. Bakai scored a 13.2 on the vault and an 11.133 on the balance beam to help qualify for Hungary's team finals tomorrow, which take place at 7 a.m. Central Time. Bakai will be the first alternate for the event finals, which take place on Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Over to pro sports. It's a busy night. Major League Baseball, we've talked about it a few times. In the current action right now, it's the Field of Dreams game. In that one, it's the Cubs currently leading 3-0. They got all their runs in the first inning. In that fun event, it's the Red Sox currently holding a lead over the Orioles in Boston, 2-0. That one's at the bottom of the third, and then everything else is fine. A lot of matinee action in MLB today. The Marlins blanked the Phillies 3-0. The Guardians took down the Tigers 4-3 in 10 innings. The Royals beat the White Sox 5-3. The Astros won the battle at Texas today as they keep rolling 7-3 in that one. The Astros take down the Rangers 8-6. The Rockies were able to find a way against the Cardinals, and 9-3 the Diamondbacks drubbed the Pirates. NFL preseason action currently ongoing. It's 7-3 Patriots in the game that started at 6. They lead the Giants. We're keeping an eye out for Austin Allen in that one, and we'll hopefully see him before we get off the air. And then the Ravens just went up 7-0 over the Tennessee Titans in the only other game tonight. Also making headlines today, we just heard Greg mention at the end of hour 1, the NBA announced that it will permanently retire the number 6 in honor of the late Bill Russell, who passed away on July 31st. Celtics legend, he was an 11-time NBA champion, 5-time NBA MVP, and 12-time All-Star. Russell is the first player in NBA history to have his jersey retired league-wide. Also making headlines, we talked about this too in hour 1, Tom Brady on a brief leave of absence from the Buccaneers to, quote, deal with some personal things, according to Bucs head coach Todd Bowles. The leave of absence is said to have been arranged prior to the preseason start, and Brady will look to return after the Bucs' second preseason game against the Titans. That takes place next Saturday, August 20th. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
It's a pistol set, then Trees trips to the near side, snap back, stretch play right to Cook, hit and drop. He'll lose yardage. Garrett Nelson firing from the backside, brings him down. It's a loss of 2. It's now 4th down and 3.
Alexi Rodriguez floats it over, pass by Eggleston, tight to the net, gets it back, swings, block back. Nebraska's got 3 blocks. Lucy Krause, the night of her life so far. It's 13-9 Big Red.
Snap back, play action, taking a shot, throwing pass, caught by Manning at the 10, eludes a Boilermaker to the 5, one more, Manning dives, touchdown, Nebraska.
Light diving, dig Hampton and Libero, now Penn State right front. Johnny Parker, great up by Rodriguez, left front swing, Matty Kubik, kill. 23-13, Lexi Rodriguez, a clinic thus far.
Huskers 2nd and goal to 6. 2 wideouts left, 2 to the near side. Ramir Johnson off to the right. They turn, give it off to Ramir, left side, comes back at the 5. He's in, touchdown, Nebraska. Ramir Johnson's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour number 2 of our Thursday night show. So glad you're with us here this evening. You're going to talk with Jason Jorgensen here in just a couple of minutes. Also later in the hour, Colton Feast, who's making some noise on that defensive front for the Big Red, the walk-on from UTAN. Going to have a conversation with Colton as well. And you can always be a part of the program with a call or a text at 402-413-2400. But delighted to be joined now by one of the good friends of our program, a great affiliate for us here in the Huskers Radio Network, KRVN's own Jason Jorgensen, joining us out from central Nebraska. Jason, how are you? How's your summer been?
Not too bad, Greg. Did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A couple weeks ago, I got a chance to meet and interview Jim McMahon at the National Tecmo Bowl tournament in Omaha, so that was a little different. Old number 9 has not changed much. He still pretty much tells it like it is. But it's been a great summer, and like everybody else who's in this business, excited for the fall season.
Did you have to edit that interview at all? I would imagine that Jim maybe doesn't censor himself very well, does he?
He said a couple of things that I had to take off just a little, and it was a great line, and I wanted to leave it, but I also know our audience. But I got to interview him for close to 20 minutes.
Cool.
So it was good stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Give me some thoughts from in your neck of the woods, your audience. You talk to people. What are their thoughts about this Husker football season that's about to start?
Cautiously optimistic, but one thing I've found, Greg, which makes sense, they're not really drinking the Husker Kool-Aid that is served this time of year by the media that we have in the past. And that's certainly understandable with some of the struggles the Huskers have had. But I think they're excited about what has taken place in the offseason. They were all down. Most were down with the decision to bring Coach Frost back with the changes he's made. But they want to see it on the field. They've seen the movie enough where the Huskers play close and lose. They want to see some victories this fall.
You know, that's the thing. I get asked by people around the country, they go, well, where's the patience level with the fan base with Coach Frost? And I say, you know, it's because he's one of our own and because he was such a terrific player here. There's no doubt. I think he's gotten a little longer leash, but I think people are still pulling for him. Do you get that sense as well?
I do too, especially with the offseason they've had. They announced the changes that they were going to make. I think they had a wonderful offseason. I think bringing Mickey Joseph in has already done wonders for the program with the way he's been able to recruit, also from just a PR standpoint. I think folks are still behind number 7, and I think most of them, as you alluded to, are glad to see him get another year. It just all needs to come together. As you know, with a lot of fan bases, and Nebraska's no different. They're with you win-win.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Again, busy with Jason Jorgensen from KRVN. They are the longest carrying affiliate of Husker football in the state of Nebraska. And we're certainly glad to have that big stick as part of our network here, and delighted to have Jason on board with us here tonight. You know, volleyball, you got a lot of volleyball fans out in that area, and you guys, I know, have been able to acquire some different sticks out there to put multiple Husker sports plus your tremendous high school coverage on. There's a lot of fans of Husker volleyball in your part of the state as well, isn't there, Jason?
A ton of fans, and once you think it reaches a point that it can't get any bigger, then you see what happened in Grand Island with the spring match, and that thing was sold out like this. They could have had 20,000 fans there to watch an exhibition match this spring. So we are certainly proud to do our part with the Rural Radio Network and have Husker volleyball any chance we can get it on.
No doubt. Well, we also wanted to talk a little UNK football with you. You're the voice of the Lopers. They had a tremendous year last year, made the Division II playoffs, showing up at a lot of preseason polls. I got to think that UNK may have a good season. What are your thoughts?
There is a buzz and an excitement level, Greg, around Loper football. Now, I've done the games. I'm going into my 6th year, but I've followed Loper sports most of my life. Folks are fired up. When I went places this summer, and you know how this goes with the job we're in, people would come up to me and they say, how are we going to be? And I always try to preface it like, are we talking Huskers or are we talking Lopers? And they wanted to talk Huskers, but they were really fired up about UNK. Last spring with the Loper Backers fundraiser, in one night they raised $300,000 for the program. And that's just how Division II operates. You got to go out and do your own thing if you want to keep up, especially with the powers in the MIAA. But they've really got it rolling. The community in the area, they're behind the Lopers. They just redid the coaches' offices over at Cope Stadium. And Coach Josh Lynn has done a wonderful job going into his 6th year. He took a program that was at the bottom of the MIAA, going into this year. It's preseason, but they're the preseason number 2 pick in the league. That's the highest UNK has ever been in that poll. And you all know the MIAA may be a Division II conference, but there's a lot of Division I talent in that league, and the Lopers have another shot to have a special season.
You know, the Huskers play in the Big Ten, which is one of the premier conferences at the FBS level. The MIAA, Jason's got to be near the top of conferences at the Division II level, I would think, isn't it?
I've often heard it called the SEC of Division II football, and it really is. You have Northwest Missouri just down the road. They are a perennial contender. They won numerous national championships. The thing that's interesting in this league, and what I have learned in calling the games going into the 6th year, is there's not much different between maybe finishing 2nd and 5th. And the Lopers last year were really good in close games. They were 4-1 in games decided by a touchdown or less. They had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and that was one of the keys to them going 10-3 and making it to the 2nd round of the Division II playoffs.
Tell me about the schedule, and when do you start?
Our first game is on September 1st. That is going to be a hot and steamy night in Joplin, Missouri. You never really experienced humidity until you've been just outside the Ozarks this time of year. And then our home opener is on Thursday night, big game against Pittsburgh State.
Yeah, I know, and particularly at that level, a lot of times they'll slip in a Thursday night game just to kind of avoid a football Saturday, which so much of the state gets focused on the Huskers. I think that's probably a pretty good way. Do those draw pretty well?
They do, and usually the best attended game in Kearney is that first Thursday night home game. Unfortunately, last year we had one thunderstorm after another. We were supposed to kick off at 7, and I don't think we ended the thing until maybe a quarter till midnight. So hopefully when we get our home opener coming up after we begin the year on the road with Missouri Southern, hopefully we have better weather in Kearney. But I expect Cope Stadium at Foster Field to be rocking that night when the Gorillas from Pittsburgh State come to town.
Oh, what a great matchup for the home opener. That is great. Again, visiting with Jason Jorgensen from our affiliate KRVN out in central Nebraska. Great affiliate, serves so many purposes for a lot of Nebraskans, big in the farm community out there in the central part of the state. Usually I'll see you at Big Ten Media Days or Big 12 Media Days. In our past, we go that far back. That's always a fun time to do that. What about the news that the Big Ten made about a month ago, Jason, with the addition of those California schools? What were your thoughts, and what were some of your listeners' thoughts about that?
What? Why? What is this taking place? But I think when folks start to boil it down, it's about money. It's about TV sets. I'll admit this, never in my life did I think that Nebraska would be in a conference with USC and UCLA, but times are changing in college football. So personally, I like the old Big 8. I'm a traditional guy. That's what I grew up with, but I realize those days are long, long past.
Yeah, it's certainly a different era, and all of college athletics, Jason, with transfer portal now being just so common, NIL, that all this is kind of hit it's like a perfect storm, and I don't know where it's headed. I don't know that I love all of it, but I think as long as you have passionate fan bases, and that's not going to be a problem in this state, I think college sports will make it. But it's certainly different, isn't it? It's certainly way different than what you and I grew up watching and rooting for.
It's totally different, and I get it. And how cool is that going to be the first time when Nebraska plays out on the West Coast with all of those native Nebraskans who are out there, and they will be there. And it'll be like a Husker home game. The one thing I think people forget a little bit about is a lot of this is done for football and basketball, but I really feel for the other sports teams that are going to be having to travel from one end of the country to the other. That's the part I think gets lost maybe sometimes with administrators when they make this move. Yeah, it's great for football. It'll be great for volleyball, great for men's basketball. How does it work for the other sports?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to try to be creative with the Olympic sports and, maybe try to regionalize it, maybe put up some pods where they don't have to travel quite as much, because those sports don't get the benefit of charter flights. They got to go commercial flights and delays and all those type of things. That's a lot of time away from school. So I think the conference is going to have to think that through and try to be creative with all that. High school football, we're not far from that. I bet you probably have some teams already starting practice out in your area.
They have, and it's hard to believe we will have our first high school softball broadcast coming up next week. It seems like each year. Yes, 16th. I've got St. Cecilia and Cozad. I never thought I'd be calling a high school softball game or high school sports in mid-August, but that calendar just keeps being pushed up and up, and most of the schools, at least in our neck of the woods, started class either yesterday or today. So, yeah, I'll be calling some softball next week and knocking the rust off a little.
What don't you call? You call pretty much everything out there, Jason.
I'm trying to. I do not call hockey. I have learned to call soccer the last couple of years. Was a success that Lexington's had. That has been a lot of fun. But yeah, I do not do hockey or wrestling. I've not gotten into the wrestling play-by-play. But other than that, I probably have a fighting chance. It's a good variety, that's for sure.
ESPN's showing some cornhole every now and then. Maybe you can jump into some of that for those guys.
That might be the ticket. You know, when I was in Omaha for the National Techno Bowl tournament, they had me calling those games, and I never thought I'd be calling a video game that they recorded all of that and put that on YouTube. So as you well know, you never know.
Yeah. You know, Davison and I did a virtual spring game during the pandemic. We were sat in a room and did the spring game. We had a blast with that thing. That was fun. Jason, we appreciate it. I hope we get to see you at a Husker game. I hope your schedule allows you to slip over here and catch one Husker game. Good luck to the Lopers. I know we have a lot of crossover fans of UNK and UNL, and we wish them nothing but the best, and same to you. And thank everybody at your great station for me as well.
You bet, and as always, it's a pleasure to be on. Certainly appreciate a chance to be on, and hopefully see you at Memorial Stadium in early September.
Very good. Jason Jorgensen with us for our great affiliate out in Central Nebraska, KRVN. Again, the longest-running affiliate of Husker football. They go back darn near a century carrying Husker football, and we certainly appreciate that. He joined us on our Sports Sunday Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, phone lines open for you, 402-413-2400. You can also fire off a text at that very same number. We'll talk to you and also hear from Colton Feast coming up next.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
The 2022 Nebraska football home opener is right around the corner, and we can't wait to welcome the Sea of Red back to Memorial Stadium. Secure your spot as your Huskers take on North Dakota on Saturday, September 3rd at 2:30 p.m. for only $30. A limited number of tickets remain and are only available while supplies last. To get yours today, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Woodhouse Mazda and Woodhouse Place Mazda are the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers, conveniently located in Bellevue or in Millard off 144th and Giles Road. You can shop, finance, and buy your next Mazda SUV or sedan your way. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you to your next vehicle, and our full service department is there for you when your vehicle needs maintenance. Visit us at woodhousemazda.com or woodhouseplacemazda.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery Commercial. I'm all over that.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Thanks again to Jason Jorgensen for spending some time with us. He's been with KRVN for years, does a great job out there covering all kinds of things, high school events, and I was so happy when they got the rights to the UNK broadcast and he got a chance to do some college football and college basketball for UNK, and they got it rolling. That school is doing a really good job, and I know when I see the president, Ted Carter, for our interviews that we do for the Huskers Radio Network, he's always bragging about UNK and loves the energy that's going on out there with Vat University and Chancellor Christensen out there, and so on. I know we have so many fans out in and around the Kearney area that support the Huskers and the Lopers, and that's great. Love that fact. That they're offering so many wonderful opportunities for young women, men, for college athletics at that size, and that is a terrific. He's not joking about the MIAA. That is a top-notch Division II league that they're in. So good to have that as well. A couple of texts have come in the last segment. Dave in South Carolina said, what's the travel roster size for Ireland? And since they're going to be gone almost a week, what does the rest of the roster do to stay sharp? Good questions. So everybody that's on the 110 players can report to camp when your practice sessions open. So they are all here. All 110 get to go to Ireland. Big Ten rules say you can only dress 74, so only 74 of the 110 will dress. When school starts, the rest of your roster, and for Nebraska that will be about 40 more players, can start practicing. So that Monday, the day the team leaves, they can start working out. Huskers are going to leave behind some graduate assistants to work with those guys for the work, get them conditioned, get them ready, and then when the team gets back from Ireland for practices, those 40 will merge with the rest of the team for workouts. So hopefully that helps. But all 110 will go, 74 will dress. The rest will be on the sideline. They'll be in jersey tops, but not in full uniforms for that game. Art in Los Angeles says, Greg, really enjoyed your conversation with Jason. He is absolutely correct. When the Huskers play here in Los Angeles, it'll be like a home game. There is so many Husker fans in Southern California, and I love it. Go Big Red. You're right. And on a good night, I'm telling you, you can hear that booming signal from KRVN. They're 880 on the AM dial. You can hear that throughout most of the western part of the country, down and through Arizona. Even if you get on the right hill in California, you can hear that big booming KRVN. So we certainly appreciate and love having them as part of the broadcast. Hey, football ticket. They're offering some football ticket opportunities for folks coming up in the upcoming season. North Dakota game, which is the home opener on September the 3rd, kickoff at 2:30. $30 tickets, $30 to come see the Huskers in the home opener while they last. Just a limited supply of those. Also, the OU plus 2 mini plan, a ticket to the Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to the North Dakota game, 2 tickets to the Georgia Southern game. That's for $270. And the Big Ten mini plan. That will include the Big Ten home games of Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, $200 for those. You can find all of this information. You can even place your order at huskers.com/tickets. So really cool for that, and some great opportunities for you there for some Husker football tickets. Get you into some games here in this upcoming season. Doesn't include the only one that includes the Oklahoma game is that Oklahoma mini plan that wraps you up with the North Dakota and Georgia Southern game as well. Should be fun. 402-413-2400, the phone number to the for the phone and the text line. TJ from Moorfield says, who's the home team in Ireland? It is the Northwestern Wildcats. This is technically their home game, so they will wear their home jerseys, so the Huskers will be in their roads, which I would assume will be the white tops and the red pants, which is the traditional Husker road look for that game. But this is a Cats home game, not a Husker home game. That is going. So good question, TJ. Good question from everybody about some of these player limits for that. And Jeremy in Texas says, you're right, Greg. Some nights I can hear KRVN down here in North Texas. That is a big-time signal. All right, I blathered on a little bit too long in this segment, so let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back and hear from Colton Feast. Jessica caught up with him earlier in the week. This is the young man who's a walk-on from UTAN that is part of, right now, that defensive line rotation for Eric Chenander's defense, and a guy that the coaches have loved since he stepped on campus a couple of years ago. We'll hear from Colton coming up next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up. How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Every day, Central Valley Ag Cooperative works with our farmers to feed the globe. Embracing the cooperative spirit, CVA's innovative products and services in grain, agronomy, feed, and energy deliver world-class value to our members. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how we grow agriculture together at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Greg Sharpe, rejoined by Jessica Coody. She was handling a sponsor event that just got over a little bit ago. You had a chance to see some of our coaches.
Yeah, it was a really cool event. A great turnout, and Coach Applewhite came, even though it was their off night, so shout out to him. And he did not tell us who the starting running back would be.
Come on.
I tried, I asked, and he even said, I don't know who RB1 was or is. And so, but, talked about just how much he likes overall how the team is coming together, and he seemed really excited about the potential of this football team. And then Amy Williams was there, Coach Bolt was there, and even Coach Cook came over from practice.
Any
literally
nuggets? We get some nuggets from John Cook?
He talked about Bud and his
of course
horse and all of that, and then Adam Howard was there too. So a couple of new faces that came tonight with Coach Applewhite and Coach Howard.
I just didn't know about John Cook because sometimes the practices, he'll stay and want to break down film and all that, but he got there good.
I mean, he's always you know how it is. He's always entertaining. So.
By the way, in our first segment, we were talking about John Cook and that he had that little stand behind him you had to move. Jeremy in Texas goes, guys, it's a roping dummy.
Dummy. What did I call it? A roping dummy. I can't remember what I even called it, but yeah.
There you go.
Roping dummy.
We got clarification on that.
Got it.
Picked up on that. All right. Colton Feast is a great story. Huskers love these kind of stories. Walk onto the program. He's undersized for his position of playing defensive line, but the coaches love him. Still not on scholarship, but he's going to play some football, and you had a chance to talk to him this week.
He absolutely is, and again, he's a guy that Ty Robinson has brought up multiple times, and the opportunity that Colton was presented in the spring when there was limited bodies, to be quite frank, allowed him to, I think, really take a jump. And so, as much of that time, maybe you looked at it as a detriment, it allowed for some of these younger guys to really grow. And so, yeah, here is Colton Feast. You got full week in the books. You're working on week 2. How you feeling about where you're at and where this defense is at right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm healthy. The
team's looking good. I'm excited. I know right now our focus is in camp. Pretty soon we're going to transfer over to Northwestern, and I'm looking forward to it.
I know you battled some injuries last year. How do you feel, I guess, body-wise, ready to go? How did you feel going into this? And then plus having the experience of going at this a few times now.
Yeah, obviously I feel a lot better. Last camp I felt really good going into, just my foot injury kind of set me back. And right now I'm healthy as can be, and I'm looking forward to the season.
Ty Robinson pointed you out as a guy that's really stepped up and has stepped into a bigger role. What's gone into that, you being ready for that bigger role for this defense?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 4 years and haven't been on the field as much as I want due to maybe a couple things. So just kind of taking on that leadership role now. I'm one of the oldest guys in the room, so and it's my time to shine. So I've been kind of taking on that role and trying to help the younger guys too.
You know, back in the spring, I know you guys were pretty thin, but it probably allowed for you guys to get a lot of reps and in shape quite a bit. So did that help you guys grow as a whole unit, just even being thin, the opportunities that you were able to get in the spring?
Yeah, for sure. All those reps we kind of took with a mindset of let's get better on each rep, not just like let's just go through the motion. So each rep we were getting a lot of reps just because of the numbers that we had. And that's a nice thing now. We have Wynn here. We're supposed to be getting another guy. O'Shawn, he's done a great job for us. So it's just kind of all getting these numbers together and building the D-line cohesively. And that's another thing that we have the whole room together now. So that's been nice. As far as pass rush goes, everything, we're all on the same page. So
yeah, I was talking to Ty about this. How nice is it to have the guys on the edge that you guys have?
Yeah, that's super nice. Those guys are really good players, and we kind of learn from each other. You know, when we're watching film, we can see what they're doing, kind of scheme-wise, just kind of put everything together. So it's been great having them in the room.
And, you know, when you mentioned the transition between doing fall camp stuff and game prep, what does that look like when you make that transition?
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll be looking more at, like, what stuff we're going to run versus Northwestern, schematically, stuff like that. I'm not sure when we'll start the scout team stuff, but we'll start doing that stuff so they can run their plays so we can see what they do.
First scrimmage on Saturday, how'd you feel like that went for the team?
I think it was good. Definitely some stuff that we can clean up, but it was nice to actually get out there and be able to tackle each other. You know, we don't do very much of that, so that was nice.
You talked about stepping into more of a leadership role. It seems like from top to bottom there's a lot of leaders that are stepping up and the Unity Council and all of that. How important has that been to the progression of this team and kind of stepping up as players and being a player-led team?
Yeah, that's the thing Coach Frost always says is that if it's just a coach-led team, we're not going to be that great. It's got to be a player-led team, and I think there's been a lot of people that have stepped up and taken on the leadership role. And I think everyone's really buying into, so they're really listening to those people. And then we got the different tiers of what you fall into, so red, green, and gold, I think it is. So it's kind of like working your way up. You know, if you're a freshman, you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to earn more rights once you earn the trust. So I think that's a good thing.
That's awesome. And overall, just how do you feel about where this defense is at as you guys do progress along and move into game week, you know, planning and all of that, and what you've done so far in fall camp?
Yeah, I think our defense is going to be good. I think we got a few things that we can clean up for sure, but that's always going to be like that. But I think as long as we go out there and play hard, and it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, again, I think he seems really ready and really confident to step into a role, and those bodies on the defensive line are crucial. You don't want to just have one line. You want to be able to kind of rotate a lot of guys in and have kind of a line change, a hockey line change, and that was what was so good about that defense and the defensive line last year is the depth that they were able to have and run guys in, and they stayed fresh a lot. And even when Damian Daniels went out at the end of the season, you know, they had enough bodies that you know, they were able to not really miss a beat. So that's what you would hope to have and continue to build is that depth.
You know, I guarantee that's the first time that Colton Feast has been summoned to do those interviews. I mean,
he's great.
And he was really good.
Add another one to the list. He's fantastic.
I guarantee you he's not been pulled up into that kind of a deal ever in his career. That is so cool. And again, those are those heartwarming stories of a guy who came here, doesn't have a scholarship, but works his tail off and has earned the respect of his teammates. He certainly has that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you could just tell when Ty Robinson talks about him how much he thinks of him. And Ty Robinson is the leader of that defensive line, and he has been actually talked about as a leader overall, not just even just for the line in his room, because that's another thing that seems to be kind of coming to fruition when you have these conversations is that, you know, just the way that the team is led, and there might be a certain player in each position group, and it's kind of, you know, taking the reins, and you just heard him talk about the different levels or whatnot. But I think Ty Robinson is a guy that's being a leader overall, not just for the front. And so for him to speak up and talk about him. And gosh, that could not have been easy what they went through, that defensive line in the spring. And so probably brought that room closer together too, because it'd have been miserable.
There was no Stephon Wynn in the spring. There was no Devin Drew in the spring. They had to take all the snaps.
Well, and even at the time, Casey Rogers was still here, but yeah, he was
hurt.
So they were very, very thin.
They were. So, again, those guys, the three that we just mentioned, Ty and Nash and Colton, those are the kind of kids who will say, I'll play as much as you need me to play. I'll do whatever you need. Those are those kind of kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's why the walk-on program is so valuable.
So huge.
And, he's probably a kid that kind of like a lot of them that could go somewhere else and play, but had a dream to play here, play somewhere at a Power 5 school or in the Big Ten, whatever it might be, and thought, you know what, I'll go earn it and work your tails off. And, you have the talent, but for one reason or another, you might not have been recruited very heavily, but I think it just also goes to show, and I think there's a reason why a lot of people choose to walk on here as opposed to walking on somewhere else,
right?
Is because it's proven that we will play you if you come in and take care of business.
And those kids turned down other opportunities. We had Jason Jorgensen on early in the hour at UNK. Colton Feast, I guarantee, would have got a scholarship to go play a Division II. He would have.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Reimer had opportunities to go play at other places.
But they dream big, and now, it's like he's going to get rewarded with some playing time. So happy for him to be able to do that. That's the second time you're back from our sponsor event that you've heard Brian Applewhite. He is so much fun to listen to. I could listen to him all the time.
Yeah, he is. He's great, and he's so excited and appreciative to be here and be at Nebraska. And he talked about growing up as a kid and following the tailbacks that Nebraska had and wanting to stay up with all the stats. Like, that was one thing that he talks a lot about. And he talked about the first time I heard him speak, but just that he grew up a fan of what Nebraska running backs did. And so we had a call in a couple weeks ago talking about the 90s running backs and hopefully, Brian Applewhite was very well aware of what the running backs did in the 90s. That's why when he got the call to come here, it was a no-brainer for him. He said, go Big Red. It was just, he knows the tradition and the history of what some of the running backs have done here, and that's, he would go to school and want to know all the stats when he was in elementary school or high school and want to know all the stats of what the running backs did each week. And so, hearing what he had to say about the team, and he really likes this group, and he likes his group in his room. And it's been competitive, and he said all along that's what he wants. He wants a lot of competition, and I think that's exactly what he's had.
Great. All right, 402-413-2400. Phone lines, text lines open for you. Love to hear from you. Still time for you to be a part of the program. We'll slip in our final break and wrap things up next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time to amp up the fun. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. Just move on up. Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up. Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Our Woodhouse lines are wide open for you, 402-413-2400. Call or text. I had a caller who wanted to correct me, and he's right. I told you about the Bill Russell story that the NBA is retiring the number 6, but players who currently wear it, and I read you their names, can continue to wear it until they're out of the league. But nobody new can put on the number 6. Great honor for Bill Russell. Pretty cool deal for the NBA to do that. But I was worried about LeBron, because LeBron wears 6 for the Lakers, but he can still wear that jersey.
Oh, okay. I would think that, sometimes you hear former players saying, given the okay for certain players to wear that number. And I think it happened with Jordan Addison at USC. I'm pretty sure Carson.
Did he have to come up with a little coin to get the jersey?
No, I think they asked the former. Who was it? Who was it?
Chris Carter?
Is who wore.
Chris Carter.
I don't think so.
think Chris Carter is a USC guy, is he?
It was a quarterback. I'm pretty sure.
Keyshawn Johnson, maybe. He would be.
I think it was Carson Wentz. Did he play there?
Carson Palmer. He wore the number 3, I believe.
Yes, that's what it was.
All right,
that's what it was. So basically to allow Jordan Addison to wear number 3. So sometimes you can give a call, and a lot of times, it brings a lot of talk like, oh, hey, this guy can wear this number, and then you bring back that memory. And so
I wonder, with all the transfer portal stuff, and you've worn the number 32 at a school, and then you go to the new school and somebody else has that, and you're like, I really want that number. See guys making some deals, little side deals. All right, I'll wash your car for a week or something. I don't know. Give me your jersey.
I wonder how much it actually. I know some guys. A lot of times numbers have sentimental meaning, but I wonder how much it actually really actually is a make or break deal if you can't wear this number.
I don't know, and I know a lot, particularly in the NFL, guys will pay big bucks to get a jersey that I don't know if Brady had to do that when he went to the Bucs, but he could afford paying a guy some coin to get that.
True.
I hope things are good with Tom. I know he's taking a leave of absence from the Buccaneers. The coach, Todd Bowles, says, we're confident he will be our starter week 1, but he is going to be away from the team for a while. That speaks to something going on with his family, so hope everything's all right with Tom Brady. Not a big Tom Brady fan, as I said, but I don't wish ill on somebody, so hope everything's okay with Tom Brady. It is so cool to have some NFL action on. The NFL Network tonight has the Giants and the Patriots. We have not seen Austin Allen on the field yet. They just kicked off, start the third quarter, and it's also fun to see the game in the cornfield tonight with the Cubs and the Reds. The Cubs have a 3-0 lead in that game. But it's just fun to see this. And when I know I've got a former Husker, it locks me in. I will watch a game, even though I have no rooting interest, to see if a former Husker can get out there and play. And I'll be anxious to see if I can catch a little JoJo Doman or Cam Taylor-Britt in the coming weeks as well. But it's here. This is kind of the real start. Last Thursday we had the Hall of Fame game, but this is kind of tonight the real start of the NFL preseason with a couple games tonight, a handful of games tomorrow.
Austin is healthy, right?
far as I know.
I haven't heard. I should have asked Jeremiah about it last time, but also, too, a lot of times you see a lot of the starters play the first game, and then the second and third preseason game is when you start seeing some of those number ones fall
Tonight,
off.
the starters for the Giants did the first series. Like Saquon played the first series, and then he was done. He got like 4 carries, and then his night was over. So they did work some guys in the second half, but we'll keep an eye on it. The guys are locked in. Andrew's locked in back there. You know, he's now found some food. He found some food to eat.
Always makes that guy happy.
Yeah, he's always in a better mood.
Yes.
He just drank a Red Bull. Why would you drink a Red Bull at 7:40 at night? Why would you do that?
Well, especially because he crashes so hard after those. He gets grouchy in a hurry.
I mean, he's going to be up till 2 drinking a Red Bull this time of night. I don't know. Maybe he's got big plans after the show. That's his business. So I'm sure he probably has something on his social calendar. Tomorrow night, we got some great stuff that's going to be coming your way tomorrow night. You are working on a lot of Title IX features for this 50th anniversary of Title IX, and you're going to talk to Carol Frost tomorrow.
Yes, well, actually already did that interview, and I'm going to drop the podcast soon, but we're going to have a portion for you tomorrow night. And, I mean, you want to talk about just... You throw out words like pioneer and trailblazer and all of that. She did all of it before Title IX was even passed. She didn't have resources to go practice. She would just throw out in the field, and she tells a story about how she knew she had measured, and there was just a trash can out in a field behind the school that she knew was 100 feet, and she knew she needed to throw a certain amount of feet to get to where, you know, to qualify for certain things. And so she just knew that, hey, if I throw it a certain amount of feet past this trash can, I mean, there was nobody measuring for her. There was no weightlifting. I mean, she talked about her strength training was working out on the farm and, you know, carrying all the buckets and all of that. And so, I mean, just really, really inspiring and very humble about it, though, too. I mean, just doesn't necessarily look at herself as, hey, I'm an inspiration. She just wanted to compete. That's bottom line. She wanted to play and didn't have the opportunity to play softball or basketball, but track and field was an opportunity because they had the Olympics back then. They didn't have them in college. There wasn't any college opportunities.
No track teams.
But she could continue to compete because there actually were opportunities out after high school for track and field because of the Olympics. And so, yeah, just absolutely, I mean, I could have sat there with her for another 2 hours and kept picking her brain, but she's always out at practice, and that's another thing. That's another part of the story too. You know, outside of just being an Olympian, she was a boys' high school football coach.
Yes,
and that just again is not something that you see very often.
Nope.
It's still not very common to have women coaching football. So yeah, all kinds of stuff that with Carol Frost that I'm excited for people to hear.
Fantastic. We'll look forward to that tomorrow night. Also, the Big Ten recently sponsored a trip to Selma, Alabama to teach folks about that historic walk back in the 1960s, a civil rights march on that town. And we're going to hear from a couple of Huskers who made that journey, including Marquita Armstead, who's the senior women's administrator in Nebraska. What an incredible trip.
Yeah, it really was. And hearing their perspective on it, and a lot of things that you learn when you go there that aren't necessarily things that you learn from your history books, and, you know, the things that they were able to see and the people they were able to interact with. I mean, it was just such powerful stuff. And so we'll have some of that for you tomorrow, too.
Very good. All that on a Friday edition of Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I saw some of the folks from NDOT at the little sponsor party earlier tonight. What a fun show. Great to have Brendan Stai. Always good to have him come in and give us his thoughts about football, about the new building that's going up off to outside of our studios here at the stadium. And great to hear from Colton Feast, Jason Jorgensen from our great affiliate KRVN, joining us to talk a little about the Huskers, about the Lopers as well. Fun show tonight. Thanks to Cole, to Andrew, to Tim. Hope they got enough food. You all have a great night tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker